Hey everyone, as always, welcome. We have another video today for you talking about this idea of division, right? As we know, as equal groups, like division is all about equal groups. But what happens when you don't have equal groups, right? What happens when your groups aren't equal? What do we do? And that's what we're going to talk about today in this video is like, actually, this is true. We do put things into equal groups. It is the job, but on occasion, numbers don't always match up to where we would be able to divide to get equal groups. And that is what takes us to the world of the remainder. So today we are going to talk about the remainder, something that we see in math. And we're going to talk about what that remainder means and so on and so forth. So, hey, paper and pencil, get your stuff ready, get your brain ready, buckle up, let's go. It's division time. So let's kind of just do it. Let's just jump in. Away you go. Let's grab a problem right off the bat. Why don't I'm going to take like 13 and we're going to divide it by 2. Okay, so today, like obviously we're going to go through some pretty, we're going to go through some smaller number division just so we can see the process work. I'm going to use loops and groups for this one just to make sense of why and where the remainder comes out. So again, if we're doing something like that, remember we have 13 things, right? That's the whole concept, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 things. And we're going to distribute them or divide them or break them into 2 groups. So I like to draw 2 groups, right? That's what this 2 represents. And then again, we distribute. So it's like, I always think back in the days when you're on the playground and you're picking teams, right? You're splitting people up equally and even, right? 13 people are playing a game. We're going to put them into 2 teams. So this person's like, I'm on this team. And this person's like, I'm on this team, right? And we just split it back and forth. So again, we're just splitting them back and forth. So he there and she's going over here and they're going over here and they go here and they go here, they go here. And now this is where we kind of stop and realize, okay, well, if I look at this right now, my groups are equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there's 1 left over. So this gets me 6 and this gets me 6. But I have this 1 left over. So how we look at this is when we take 13 and divide it by 2, what we're looking for, what the real question is how many groups of 2 can we make out of 13? And what we can make, the full amount of groups of 2 that we can make is 6. So our answer is 6. But then we end up with this leftover part, this 1, this remainder of 1. And that's where then we think about, okay, we have a remainder 1, right? So a 6 with a remainder of 1. So when 13 is divided by 2, we get 6 with a remainder of 1. Now, I'm going to present this, but honestly, it's going to be super short-lived. Right now in some of these problems for like a day or two, the old school way, yeah, I said it, old school, is we often say, all right, we have 6, and then we put this little R up here for remainder, and we say 1. 6 remainder 1. For now, you know, we're going to do it this way. But actually, as time goes on, we're going to think about what that remainder means and how we can actually write that. I guess I don't want to say correctly, but like how we write that more efficiently so it represents math, like it represents the real numbers. What is that 1? So we'll talk about that later. So let's do a couple more of these. Let's see here. Why don't we take, how about I take 12 and I divide it by 7, right? Like this is going to be a pretty tricky one. Okay, so we can do that loops and groups things. I think that's a kind of a good way to think about it. So again, I'm going to take 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to distribute my 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I can't even get there, right? Because if you look there, there's 12 and they're not all the same. So I want them to be the same. So I have to take out all those ones that are left over. And what I can see is actually at this point, I only have 7 Oh, what? No, I was just kidding. I only have one in each group. I can only put one in each group. And then I have to think, well, how much is left over? So if this is 7 and I started with 12, right? So this is how many I had. And I could only put 7 into groups. I actually have a remainder of 5. So here's that little R5. So this is when we take 12 and we divide by 7. Like if I had $12 and I wanted to share it with 7 of my friends, well, I could only give my friends $1 each, and then I'd have $7 left over, in which I could probably break that into change, but that's another story, right? So that's how we get this, okay? So let's do another one. This is one of those opportunities now where I'm going to go ahead and put a problem up, and feel free to pause the video and solve that and then come back, unpause in real time and go for it. So let's take 20. Actually, I'll put up 2 problems. Let's do that. Let's do 20 divided by 3. And then let's do 26 divided by 5. Okay, so go ahead and go. Pause, solve them, whatever. And you're back. Yay, look at that. It's amazing how time works when you just pause the video. All right, so here we go. So if we have 20 and we're dividing it by 3, right? I can definitely set this up into 3 groups and start to distribute my 20 out into it. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that wouldn't work, right? So definitely I'm going to pull those 2 out. And actually, one thing I can do is just that might help me think about what's the remainder. So if I look, I have 18. What? No, just kidding. If I look, I have 6. I have 6. Sorry, I was already trying to get ahead of the game. I have 6 in each group, but how I can find that remainder is I have 18 total. That's actually what I meant. Sorry about that. And if we know we have 18 total, but we started with 20, that's going to give us a remainder of 2. I was like thinking ahead there. Apologize for that. So again, we take the 20, we put it into 3 groups. We're going to get 6 in each group, but that's only 18 total, right? That's only 18 total here, which means I would still have 2 left over because I started with 20, but I could only put 18 into groups. So I have a remainder of 2. All right, let's look at this one, 26 divided by 5. Let's do a different method here. One thing we know about this is that multiplication and division are that inverse. So if I want to do 26 divided by 5 equals a number, then I could say, hey, that number times 5 is equal to 26, which we kind of know won't work. We're going to have a remainder, but it still tells me, hey, we could skip count by 20. We could skip count by 5. What am I talking about? We could skip count by 5s until we get to 26 or until we get close to 26, right? So watch here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'll stop there. And what I notice is 25 is really close to 26, right? So actually, I can get a good color here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, but that will only get me to 25. So again, I could say, oh, well, what's 26 minus 25? That's just 1, so I have a remainder of 1, right? So there's like a couple techniques that we can use. So I want you to be thinking about that. We're going to continue to practice this, so don't worry. This is just a quick introduction to the idea of the remainder, about how sometimes we don't get equal groups. As always, appreciate your hard work, and we will check you out on the next video.